Love.
Give it up for that man right there. SiriusXM presents Nipsey Hussle's in the building. I'm Gray Rizzy, Shade 45 representative.
What's poppin', man? It's Torae, the tour guide, Hip Hop Nation, Neighborhood Nip in the building.
And real quick,
Victory lap out now. Go grab that.
I really want to say to you, like, in everything that we're hearing, I think one of the reasons why the album is so powerful is because of the messaging that's in it. Besides the beats, I also kind of feel kind of selfish because we got headphones up here. We got to work that out. So y'all can really bump with us real quick.
Right.
But I want to acknowledge a young man real quick. He's over here, Messiah Robinson. He's someone who's, been listening to your music real quick, and I just wanted to bring him over here.
Okay,
Come over here. He's over here.
Yeah, I think he walking in.
He walking in.
You know.
He like, man, forget that. I want to see him.
Well, listen, while we getting him situated, I was out of town. I was riding this morning to the airport, and when that Young came on, and the volume was up, knocking crazy, I was just like, yo, that is the energy on that, man. Like, overall, the album, the messaging, like you said, everything you're talking about, we'll talk about more of it in this interview, but just that one right there, that one just resonated with me. And I see Puff is credited a lot on the album. Talk to me just about how that relationship came to be and manifested.
Well, first, I co-produced that last record too.
Crazy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I got
another check.
Yeah,
that part.
Business.
Yeah. But Puff, I brought the album to Puff when it was pretty much done. Just got his feedback, played it top to bottom, just wanted to see what he thought. And he was like, it's room on these records to continue to produce. We had a good convo. He like, Nip, you got potentially a classic album, and it's things we could do to really push it over that limit. And so we just got back in the studio. He called in musicians. He called in the Hitman, his old production squad, Scott Storch, and we just vibed for like 2 weeks and just did little touch-ups, had combos about the records, talked about if we should take any one of the songs off the album, which ones was the favorites and stuff, and then he hopped on Young Niggas. So I respect Puff as a producer, as well as all the other hats he wear, but I think one of his most valuable contributions to hip hop culture has been as a producer.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to tap into that, what he did for Biggie on Life After Death. You know what I'm saying? How cinematic he was able to assist those records that was street records, and from a perspective of an artist that was representing the streets, made something that was such a big commercial product without losing 1% of authenticity. I think that's genius. That's a balance not everybody can find.
Right.
So made it a movie.
100%.
Made it a movie.
I just want to be clear about something. He opened up the full access, all doors for you. Call the Hitman. Man, look, Nip about to roll this out.
It ain't never been an artist from the West that got that.
That's where I'm going.
That's the convo we had too, and we ain't say that intentionally, but when I looked around and seen Mark Wine is in the building and just a ton of the dope producers, I'm like, damn, you done this for, I know he tapped in with Jay on American Gangster.
Right.
And he tapped in with Ross on Mastermind.
Right.
But to have him involved in Victory Lap was epic, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we gonna leak them sessions later. We got videos from all the sessions.
Yeah, we need all that. Yeah. We need all access.
We was doing push-ups, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot. We was keeping the energy.
Who could do the most push-ups out of you or Puff?
Man, I don't know. We wasn't counting. We was just going in, you know what I'm saying?
Get right.
Just
jump up and just get right in the flow.
Yeah.
No doubt. So your people's is here now. We're going to ask a question.
Messiah. Now, Messiah's here. He's a young man out here in New York City, man. You got a question for Nipsey Hussle?
Oh, yeah. This is working?
It's working.
It's working?
You're live.
You just ain't got no headphones.
Yeah, so my question is, how does your experience, or how can your experience further influence the African-American culture of today?
In what direction?
In a positive direction. Basically following your dreams. Like, how can your story influence them?
I think my story represent, if I was to sum it up, a testament or a testimony to just having faith and putting your money where your mouth is and putting your actions into or your faith into motion and believing. You got to believe in yourself first. You know what I mean? And you got to be, I tell my daughter this, like, if you don't let the water in the boat can never sink. No matter how rough the ocean get, the water got to get in the boat for the boat to go down. You know what I'm saying? So that's I feel like I represent that. I've been, I got praise, I got critical praise before, and they talk crazy about me before. I ain't take the praise to the head, and I ain't get down on myself when they was talking crazy. And when it looked like, shit was fucked up, I ain't quit. And when it looked like, you know, we did it, I ain't celebrate to the point of like stopping the work. It's just about, you know, I heard somebody say some real shit, you know, just because you scored a touchdown don't mean you won the game. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I would just say I represent staying down, you know what I mean? And being able to stay in the game to catch your wins, you know what I mean? And I think that, you know, us as people, specifically as African-American black people, we fighting an uphill battle. You know what I'm saying? So you need examples of people that you see the struggles, you see them going through their ups and their downs, and then they end up making it out the end of the tunnel. You know what I mean? And take what they doing to the next level, because it's never over. We still got levels to continue to go up, but just, you know, we definitely have leveled up from the last level and from where I started. If you look at where I started, I came out the county jail in 2008. You know what I mean? And you know, free Meek Mill. You see what Meek Mill going through. I was on probation the first 4 years of my career. You know what I mean? That's not an easy thing. You gotta travel. You gotta live up to your obligations as an artist, but you can't violate probation. So that's a tricky balance. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, we covered a lot of ground, and that's what I tell my team too. I'm like, bro, the ground we've covered, the distance between where we started and where we at, is much further than the distance between where we at and where we think we trying to get. If we look at where we started to where we covered the majority of the grounds already.
That's real.
From taking it from here to you know, whatever the top of the game is, you know, we've seen people do that over and over, from their first album to becoming a leader in the game and running the game. We've seen that. It's hard to go from, you know, knee deep in the streets and in jail, and, you know what I mean, going through raids, and your brother in the pen, and, you know what I mean, losing houses and getting foreclosed on, and, you know what I mean, just going through that to be able to be off probation, you know what I mean, multiple business owner, you know what I mean, done, you know, globe world tours, and, you know what I mean, got critically acclaimed project. That's a long distance between.
It's safe to say that transition is
you're making it. Let's clap for them wins, ladies and gentlemen. Nipsey Hussle is here. SiriusXM presents Nipsey Hussle Victory Lap is out there right now. What we getting into, Rizzy?
We are getting into Blue Laces.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, this one of my favorites too. Yeah.
This is. Let's do it, man. SiriusXM presents Nipsey Hussle Victory Lap. Let's get this Blue Laces too.
Yeah. Tell the story.
Tap in.